So today we're going to spend just 10 minutes talking about habits, discipline, and greatness. Many of you guys have probably heard this before. I want to find it because I printed it out. There's a great book called The Slight Edge. At the end of this, I'm going to share some of the best programs or the best books to read with regard to habits and discipline. But I love the analogy of the water hyacinth, because we're going to talk about compounding the effect of everything that you do in your life, kind of like compounding interest. But the analogy they use in this book called The Slight Edge is the water hyacinth. And he says, if you've ever noticed a water hyacinth, which is what this is on the left, inside a pond, when a water hyacinth starts to spread, it only covers like a very small portion of the pond on day one. And you really don't see any difference. But if you come back each day, by day 5, you'll see like a big segment of the pond is covered by the water hyacinth. On day 15, like half the pond is full of the water hyacinth. And then by day 30, you see like each water hyacinth, because each one has then bred and expanded. And so they use the water hyacinth as a comparison or an analogy, because every day the simple little decisions and the simple little actions we do compound over time to either make a great life or bring struggle to your life. So as we think about how we're going to end the year, I want you guys to be thinking about habits and disciplines for a great life. We know it's really not possible to make $200,000 a year sitting at a computer, spending 2 hours on the internet each day. It's not possible to lose 30 pounds in a week or to rub 20 years off your face with a face cream. And it's not possible to find lasting success with a scheme that seems too good to be true. There are no magic bullets. Success is hard, and the process is laborious, tedious. It's sometimes even boring. Oftentimes it's boring. Becoming wealthy, influential, becoming world class in your business is a slow and arduous process. However, what's cool about success is that you already know all that you need to know. You really don't need to learn anything more. You have everything within you already to be super highly successful in this business. So new or more information is not what you need. What you actually need is a better plan of action for the information that you already have. When you think about where you want to go in life, sometimes we get stuck because where we plan to be is so far away that it kind of stunts our ability to get there. And by the way, social media doesn't help us, because we wake up every day and there's things that you want to do and go work, and you look at social media and you see somebody else, maybe one of your teammates in the office or an agent at another brokerage, who appears to be like getting all the closings and doing all the business. And here you are, like just kind of putting away, doing what you believe you need to do to get there, but you're held back because you're watching this person and you have a perception that they're getting there faster than you. I want you to embrace being the tortoise. Win because of the positive habits that you develop and because of the consistency you use in applying those habits. If you can, shut off the social media, because what other people are doing, first of all, social media is a perception. Most of it is not real. So instead of paying attention to what somebody else is doing, be the tortoise and just focus on your piece and getting there slowly, one step at a time. So let's talk about the compound effect, like that water hyacinth effect. Small, smart choices, tiny little choices, plus consistency, plus time create a radical difference in your life, in your business. Do not get tripped up by the simplicity of this concept. So we'll go back: small choices, consistent choices, and time. It's all you need. Too often people get very tripped up. I always say the things that are easy to do, because success is super easy. It is, in my opinion, very easy to make $100,000 a year in real estate. It's also easy to make $500,000 a year in real estate. But the things that are easy to do in business are equally easy not to do. And oftentimes it's too easy to get tripped up by the simplicity of how easy it can be to do well in your business. And so there's certain things you absolutely have to do. Anybody who's been to one of the algorithm classes, we teach you the steps that you must take every day, every month, every week, every year. We give you the system, but people end up quitting on, say, day 8 of running because they're still overweight, or they stop prospecting 30 days in because they're not getting the results, or they stop contributing to their IRA after 2 years because it doesn't look like it's getting anywhere. By quitting too soon, you never realize the effects, the compound effects of those little steps you're taking. The small, seemingly insignificant steps that you consistently repeat over time do create a massive difference in your life and your business. Time matters in everything that we do. So time can be a benefit to you if you remain consistent. So time is a factor in everything from your wealth to your success in your business, to your relationships, to your happiness, because time is a byproduct of the habits you have. So if you have bad habits, then time is not going to be friendly to you, because the compounding effect of your bad habit will have negative results. But if you can switch your habits, the time will compound the effect of your good habits so that you will have massive radical results. The greatest challenge, or the biggest challenging aspect, is that we have to keep working away for a while. We have to consistently and efficiently do things before we see a payoff. I cannot stress enough how important it is to really focus on like the checklist, like getting the tasks done, not focusing on the results that you're getting. Never worry about the result. Result is where people get tripped up. The result will come, but don't focus on the result too soon, because by doing so, you'll stop the habit. Most fail because of their success. When everything is going well, they just stop doing what it took to get them to where they are. We see this in real estate a lot, that agents like do all these things to get transactions coming in, and then you get all these transactions coming in, and now you stop doing all the things that got you those transactions. And that is why our industry, and you see lots of peaks and valleys in your business. It's really important that you don't focus on the results. When results are good, you just keep doing your habits. When results are bad, you just keep doing your habits, knowing that the results are always going to end up coming. The compound effect is always working, so make it work for you. Or if you just ignore the compound effect, the same effect still happens. It just ends up having, instead of reward and achievement, you have consequences and disappointment. Our choices can be our best friend or our worst enemies. They can deliver us to our goals, or they can send us orbiting to far off galaxy. So as you are preparing and going into the end of the year, whatever your goal is, so first define what your goal is, and then decide what habits you have to have in order to achieve that goal. And then every time you make a decision, start forming an awareness around your decision making and ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my goal? Every single choice you make matters. And so if you're not seeing the results you wish to have in your life, it is a byproduct of the choices you're making. Your choices are not creating positive habits that are giving you remarkable results. You make choices, and then your choices will make you. So every choice you make from like buying something at the food store, these little teeny choices has a massive impact on your life. Your biggest challenge isn't that you've been intentionally making bad choices. That's easy to fix. So most of us do not intentionally go out and make a bad choice. The bigger challenge is that many, many, many people end up sleepwalking through all the choices that they make on a daily basis, not even aware that they're making a choice. So as you move into the last quarter of the year, figuring out ways that you can be super conscious of the decisions and little choices you make throughout the day and throughout your life that have a massive effect. Nobody intends to like become obese or go through a bankruptcy or even leave real estate. We see lots of agents leaving real estate, but often those are the consequences of small, poor choices compounded over time. The frequent, small, and seemingly inconsequential choices are the ones that should be the biggest concern to all of us. The ones you think you don't make, that the choices you think that don't make any difference are the ones that you should be concerned with. So let's think about some of the choices that we make on a daily or minute by minute basis. One big choice we make all day long is gratitude versus complaining. This is one of those choices that people sleepwalk through. This is one of those choice areas that you want to have really good habits. Gratitude, the compound effect of gratitude versus the compound effect of complaining is life altering. So if there's one thing you can walk away with today, it is change your choice when it comes to gratitude versus complaining. Another small choice that many people sleepwalk through is owning versus blaming. So the great thing about owning everything, your success, your failure, is that you have the power to influence it. When you blame, and sometimes people don't even realize that they're doing it, when they're blaming, they no longer have the power because now it's out of their control. It's gone to somebody else. But more importantly, in this context, it's really thinking about not like creating habits of owning your life and owning your situation and having gratitude. So pick an area of life where you want to be successful and picture where you want to be. Maybe you want to be richer, have more money, or thinner, or happier. It's time to become super conscious of every choice you make so that you can become smarter about those choices moving forward, realizing that there's a compound effect. Then once you have decided what you're going to focus on, start tracking your actions. So if you've decided that you want to get out of debt, you're going to start tracking everything, every penny you spend, the thoughts you have about spending. If you're deciding to lose weight, you're going to track everything you put in your mouth and thoughts you have around food. No matter the goal, it's important to track it. Tracking increases the habit of understanding the impact of your decisions. And it's super easy to do, but also, as we said, it's equally easy not to do. So this is an opportunity to create a positive compound effect in your life. What you will begin to see is small daily habits will make or break you. So for example, like the cost of a $4 a day coffee habit over 20 years is over $51,000. So that's where all your money went, Len. But it's these small, teeny habits that we don't even realize that we're making that have tremendous impact. Start tracking. Once you start tracking your life, your attention becomes focused on the smallest things that you're doing right, as well as the smallest things that you're doing wrong. Small course corrections applied consistently over time will create massive results in your business. What's super interesting is if you study like horse racing, the littlest disciplines pay off over time. A horse wins by a nose, but gets 10 times the prize money. So the number one horse is not 10 times faster, but the little bit of extra discipline made it slightly better, which resulted in a compound reward. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. We are the decisions that we make all day, every day. So if there's one thing that I would love to see everybody take away from today, is to be super conscious of every little decision, from the food you eat, from your environment. I cannot stress enough, like really noticing whether the environment that you sit in and do your workout each day is conducive to the goals that you've set, and that your habits are conducive to the goals that you've set. Indulging in bad habits doesn't seem to have any negative effect at the moment. That's because of that compounding effect. Just like all the good things that you do don't seem to have any positive effect at the very moment. However, compounding takes effect, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. So these slight little adjustments to your daily routine can dramatically alter the effects in your life. Always know your why. It's really important to know why you, like what moves you in life. Why do you work so hard? Just so as you're trying to map out your habits and disciplines, on the days that you don't feel like doing it, because there will be a lot of them, when you don't feel like engaging in a particular habit that you do, you want to remember what the why is, so that it helps get you through those grueling, mundane days. Who do you have to become, or to get what you want? Who is the person you need to become? So the person who you are today got you to where you want to be. But if you want to be somewhere else, you need to become a different person. That means slight little shifts. That means slight little shifts in your habits, your decisions, your choices. Those little choices, compounded over time, will change who you are as a human being. Those habits turn into routines, and those routines end up separating the most successful from everyone else. Think about how you're winning the day each day. What are the habits you need to do each day to win the day? Many of you guys know I read for 1 hour a day, and I run or walk now 4 miles a day. And I never take a day off, because to me, those are things I have to do to win the day. Think about the power of consistency, the time and energy it takes for you to repeatedly stop and start something. It takes energy. So rather than stopping something, just keep doing it. Like I said, don't focus on the outcome, focus on the task. Control your influences, people, social media, information. All of that has effects on your decision-making ability. I promised you guys some great books around habit forming. These are 4 of my favorites. I've read all of them, and I can't decide which one I like best. They're all a little bit different from each other. The Compound Effect and The Slight Edge are both on compounding anything, your habits, your decisions, your choices. So these 2 are very much alike, and these 2 are very much alike: The Power of Habit and Atomic Habits.